Alright, welcome to Talk Sport on Global Television. Time for us to look at all the big stories making the rounds. Yesterday was a very big day for Nigerian football as Eric Echale has been officially introduced as the new head coach of Nigeria's Super Eagles, becoming the 42nd coach to manage the team in its storied history. Remember, we started as the Red Devils, then we became Green Eagles, then the Super Eagles, and he's the 42nd coach for Nigeria. So it was a very historic day yesterday, and we hope all is well as Eric Echale has been officially introduced as the new head coach of Nigeria Super Eagles, becoming the 42nd coach to manage the team in its storied history. The unveiling ceremony took place on Monday outside the conference room of the Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja, with key dignitaries including the chairman of the National Sports Commission, Sheikh Diko, the NFF President Ibrahim Bousso, and the Secretary General Mohammed Sanusi in attendance. Echale, a former Mali international defender, steps into this high-profile role after resigning as head coach of Algerian club MC Oran. At 47, he makes history as the first non-Nigerian African to manage the three-time African champions. Born in Cote d'Ivoire to Malian parents and holding dual Malian and French citizenship, Echale brings a wealth of experience from his playing and coaching careers in Africa and Europe. During his unveiling, Echale expressed his pride and enthusiasm about taking charge of the Super Eagles. The coach also revealed his ambition to transform the Super Eagles into an attacking force. The present Super Eagles are blessed with lots of attacking options, including the likes of Victor Osimhen, Ademola Lookman, and many more waiting in the wings to get a chance to wear Nigeria's green, white, green colors. Though challenged by many as an awkward appointment, Echale's arrival signals a new chapter for Nigerian football, with the coach coming in with his own trusted backroom staff, including Hadi Tabubi as a first assistant, Thomas Gonibis as a fitness trainer, and Jean-Daniel Kodevani as a goalkeeper trainer. Together, they are tasked with revitalizing the Super Eagles side, aiming for success in the upcoming competitions. One of Echale's immediate responsibility is overseeing preparations for the 2024 African Nations Championship hosted by Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania. His mandatory role in the tournament is expected to provide insight into his coaching philosophy and tactical approach. Meanwhile, Echale's appointment comes at a critical time for Nigerian football, with expectations high following the Super Eagles' disappointing absence from the 2022 FIFA World Cup. The NFF decision to appoint Echale underscores their belief in his ability to unite the team, implement a winning strategy, and inspire a new generation of Nigerian talent. Having played professionally in France for clubs like Valenciennes and Chartreuse, and later transitioning into coaching, Echale brings a unique blend of European professionalism and African football knowledge to the Super Eagles. So we hope we're going to get the very best from the Malian, even though we still have those with lots of reservations as regards how good, if this was the right choice by the NFF. But the Nigerian Football Federation president has something to say. The president of the Nigerian Football Federation, Ibrahim Bousso, is optimistic that understanding of African football mentality by the new Super Eagles coach Eric Echale will help him deliver on the task of qualifying Nigeria for the 2026 World Cup in USA, Canada, and Mexico. Echale was unveiled on Monday at the brief ceremony at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja by the NFF, 1 week after his announcement as the 37th coach of the Super Eagles. He was given a 2-year deal with an option to extend by another year if he gets the 2026 FIFA World Cup ticket. During his unveiling, Bousso banked on the confidence that Echale had shown in their interactions over the past few days, stating that the Federation would give him the necessary support. Echale's assignment is due to commence fully in March, when the 2026 World Cup resumes. The Super Eagles are currently 5th in their group with just 3 points after 4 matches, and will face a trip to Rwanda on March 17 before hosting Zimbabwe in Uyo on March 24th. The coach won 5 caps for the Eagles of Mali and coached clubs such as GS Consolat FC, Matigi, Bollingen and MC Oran. And the 2023 AFCON in Ivory Coast, he coached Mali and he came close to a place in the semi-finals, losing to host and eventual winners 2-1 after extra time, after leading by a lone goal until the final minute of regulation time. But this is a big analysis. Is the Nigerian Football Federation self-sabotaging by appointing Eric Chali as the new manager of the Super Eagles? That's the big question. The news of the choice of the former Mali Gaffer as the new coach of Nigeria's men's national team has been criticized by many Nigerians. He was formally unveiled on Monday. The big question is he better than Emmanuel Amunike, who has played for the Super Eagles, who has played for Barcelona, and who took Tanzania, who has never qualified for the Nations Cup after 50 years to the Nations Cup, who has won the World Cup with under 17 national team? Is he better than Amunike, Samson Siasia? These are great Nigerian players who have done well at international engagement with either the Dream Team or the Flying Eagles or the Golden Eaglet. So why leave Emmanuel Amunike, why leave Samson Siasia and go for a Malian who has not truly proven his mettle? He has coached clubs that are relatively unknown, and even in the African continent. FC Oran have not won any tournaments to say that they are a big team in African football. So it's a gamble by the NFF, and we hope it pays off. Because if he doesn't, what it means is that we're not going to qualify for the World Cup 2026. Let's go for a quick break. When we return, we'll give you other big stories making the rounds. Stay with us. Welcome back from the break. We're still talking about the new coach for the Super Eagles. While we are criticizing or doing analysis on if the NFF is taking a huge gamble, we know that the Shehu Gusso, the Ibrahim Gusso led NFF has agreeably gotten most of its decisions right in the last 12 months. But this is a different and a very huge gamble by the football administrators. The saga surrounding the Super Eagles coaching position took a very dramatic turn following Joseph Luciero's departure after the Nations Cup last March. The situation intensified with the brief appointment and subsequent resignation of Philippe George, who called him Finito, only to descend into a comical confusion with the unexpected announcement of Bruno Labbadia and his rejection of the appointment. Also, former Cote d'Ivoire coach Hervé Renard reviewed he declined a lucrative offer for the role. The big question is why. His revelation highlighted the disarray in the NFF. The chaotic search for the national team coach has become a farce and a source of frustration and embarrassment for Nigerian football fans, because we know that the Super Eagles currently fit in the 2026 World Cup qualifying group with just 3 points from 2 matches. Must win all 6 all the remaining 6 games to avoid back-to-back absence from the global fiesta, talking about the World Cup coming in 2026. This scenario would be unprecedented since Nigeria's debut at the USA 1994. So stakes could not be higher, and the skepticism around this choice of coach. And at the unveiling, the Malian vowed to make the Super Eagles super again. Alright, let's see. Only time will tell. Let's see some of the short videos or clips as regards what played out yesterday during the unveiling. While we're still hoping that that's the right choice the NFF have made, let's move on to other stories making the rounds concerning the MPFL. Yes, talking about MPFL, talking about the Nigerian Professional Football League, where second stanza is upon us, and the team called Academy Warriors of Maiduguri have already commenced preparations for the second stanza of the 2024-2025 Nigerian Premier League season. The Nunu Army had a training session at the Economic Stadium on Monday. All the players took part in the session, with the exemption of a top scorer, Mustafa Ibrahim, and Usman Bulama. Both players were not part of it. Ibrahim was sidelined due to illness, while Bulama is out with an injury. So we hope these players will be back for Academy Warriors. The training session was focused on physical conditioning and tactical drills to sharpen the players' competitive edge ahead of the new season. Meanwhile, Academy Warriors currently occupy the 5th position on the MPFL table with 29 points. Alright, from the Academy Warriors of Maiduguri getting ready, let's jump into the National Women Football League, where Sunshine Stars is in the news this morning. Sunshine Queens, I beg your pardon. Rivers Angels have completed the signing of Taiwo Ajibade and Taiwo Adamuyi ahead of the 2025 Women Football League. Ajibade and Adamuyi penned a 2-year contract each with the former NWFL champions. The duo joined the Rivers Angels from Sunshine Queens. Ajibade and Adamuyi featured regularly for Sunshine Queens last season. Players expressed their gratitude to Sunshine Queens for shaping their career, and the duo will be among 14 players unveiled by Rivers Angels on Sunday. So we're wishing them the very best as they get set. Alright, let's do some transfer news making the rounds. We're in January and it means the transfer window is wide open. Let's see the players making the rounds. Super Eagles striker is in the news this morning as a Premier League side West Ham United are in talks with Nottingham Forest over a potential January move for Super Eagles striker Talisman Taiwo Awoniyi. With both loan and permanent transfer options being discussed. Point Sport reports, according to journalist Jack Rosa, the Hammers have approached Forest about a loan deal for Nigeria's 27-year-old striker, while discussions over a permanent transfer have also taken place. Though Forest's £20 million violation could prove a stumbling block, the East London club are desperately seeking attacking reinforcement following injuries to forwards Niklas Fokrog, who faces 3 months out with a hamstring injury, and Mikel Antonio, who is sidelined after a car accident. Meanwhile, TalkSport can confirm that West Ham's interest was reviewed. Any potential deal hinges on Forest signing a replacement. Meanwhile, Awoniyi has struggled for regular playing time under new Forest manager Nuno Espirito Santo this season, making just 2 Premier League starts, but showed his quality in their recent FA Cup victory over Luton Town. The Nigerian international enjoyed an impressive spell at Forest last term, particularly early in the season when he scored 3 goals and provided 2 assists in their first 5 Premier League games, finishing the captain with 6 goals and 3 assists. Meanwhile, new West Ham manager Graham Potter, who has also been linked with moves to Brighton's Evan Ferguson and Manchester United Marcus Rashford, currently has only 32 24-year-old Danny Ings as his sole fit striker option. Meanwhile, Awoniyi was previously linked with a move to the London Stadium last summer before they opted to sign German striker Füllkrug instead. But Füllkrug is yet to get it up and running. So who knows? Taiwo Awoniyi might just become a West Hammer, and that means Nigerian football fans will begin to support West Ham if that deal sails true. Alright, so we're about to tell you why Pep Guardiola and Man City has been losing lots of matches lately, and finally the big secret why the Man City has been down and out and lost several matches in a row has to do with this big story. Alright, just to let you know that Pep Guardiola and his wife Christina Serra have separated after 30 years together. According to reports in Spain, Manchester City boss Guardiola, 53, and Serra married in an intimate ceremony on the outskirts of Barcelona in 2014, but have now decided to part ways. News of their split was first reported by Spanish outlet Sport. The couple, who met in 1994, had been living apart for more than 5 years after Serra moved back to Barcelona with one of their 3 daughters, Valentina, who is 17, while Guardiola remained in Manchester. They have 2 other children together, Maria, who is 24, and Marius, who is 22. Guardiola and Serra, a Brazilian journalist and a writer, had remained a couple despite not living in the same city, and have regularly been pictured together in the years since. But TalkSport reports that the decision to end their marriage was made in December, with only members of their inner circle aware of the split. Their trusted friends and family have also been told not to disclose any further information, according to the publication. Sarah was in Istanbul in June 2023 to congratulate her husband after City beat Inter Milan in the final of the Champions League to seal a famous treble. They were also pictured together attending Wimbledon at the All England in July. Sarah decided to leave Manchester in 2019 to help oversee the fashion company owned by her family, Sarah Claret, which stocks several brands the city manager is often seen wearing. Guardiola is also makes regular trips back to Spain to see his wife and their children. Meanwhile, Guardiola and Sarah met while the former Barcelona and Bayern Munich boss was modeling for designer Antonio Miro in the shop in Spanish City. But very sad. That's, you can tell why Guardiola has been in all in 6 and 7s, and definitely that split is affecting him, and it showed as his team lost as many games as possible. Alright, from Pep Guardiola, let's go to Stamford Bridge. Yes, the bridge, that's what we're going to. All Chelsea fan, this story is for you. Let's give you the big story that Chelsea have made an inquiry for long-term target and Bayern Munich forward Mathys Tel. The Stamford Bridge club made overtures regarding the move for the France under-21 striker last summer, and have followed up their interest with a further inquiry this month. Tel, who is 19, is viewed as one of the best young forwards in European football and would cost in excess of £40 million. Intriguingly, Bayern are understood to have monitored the situation of Chelsea forward Christopher Nkunku, though as of yet no swap deal has been discussed or offered by the Blues. It is understood that Nkunku would be open to joining Bayern if the opportunity presented itself. Meanwhile, Chelsea interest in Tel is concrete, and the club would likely make an official offer for the France under-21 star if offered encouragement by Bayern. The Senegal has found his game time limited this season, and the opportunity to play more regularly in London may attract the young star. In addition to adding the centre-back to their ranks this month, Chelsea are also keen to add to their forward options, knowing fully well that Nicholas Jackson has not been all firing as he's expected. In addition to Tel, we switch forward Liam Delap is a player of genuine interest to Chelsea. Meanwhile, Crystal Palace defender Mark Guehi is the club's primary target at the centre back. So now Chelsea is all out for different players. We've got Mark Guehi from Crystal Palace, who is a centre-back position, and they've got Liam Delap, Ipswich forward. Remember Delap, the dad was one player who had the longest stroll in the EPL many seasons ago. So Chelsea are the Blues very active this transfer window, wanting to bring in star players into their rank and file. Alright, from Stamford Bridge, let's take you to Napoli. Well, there's a big story making the rounds there in Napoli as Paris Saint-Germain have reached verbal agreement. Yes, it's a Paris Saint-Germain Napoli agreement we're looking at this morning, as Paris Saint-Germain have reached a verbal agreement in principle with Napoli for their forward Kisha Kvaratskhelia. According to football transfer expert Fabrizio Romano, both clubs have agreed on a fee of 70 million euros plus add-ons for the 23-year-old transfer. Romano disclosed this in his tweet via his X account on Monday night. Paris Saint-Germain had already agreed terms with Kvaratskhelia contract for the next 5 years. The Georgian international joined Napoli for 10 million euros from Dinamo Batumi in 2022. He has scored 5 goals and assisted 3 goals in Serie A for Napoli this season. Alright, that's one player that helped Victor Osimhen when Victor Osimhen was in Napoli. 2 great players that combined very well to give Napoli this Scudetto seasons past. Alright, let's talk some boxing. Some big shocking news coming out from the boxing world as one man has been beaten to retirement. His name, the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. Alright, a big story coming from boxing says that Tyson Fury has dramatically announced his retirement from boxing with immediate effect. The Gypsy King, who is 36, revealed the shock news in a video to his fans on Monday afternoon. Fury's announcement comes after he was beaten by Alexander Usyk in a unanimous decision in their rematch in December, a defeat that saw the Ukrainian retain his unified heavyweight world titles. Speaking in an aftermath of the bout, the 36-year-old had suggested he had no intention of retiring. Fury defeated Chisora by TKO before he then beat former MMA star Francis Ngannou via a controversial split decision. This sets up a showdown with Usyk for the undisputed heavyweight title in Saudi Arabia. But Fury was forced to pull out from the original date in December 2023 due to his bout with Ngannou. It was then delayed further due after the Gypsy King suffered a nasty cut above his eye before the rivals finally took to the ring in May 2024. Fury's announcement has shocked the boxing fans across the world, but some are questioning whether it is genuine, given the Gypsy King has previously retired from the sport. Back in 2023, Fury revealed he was done with boxing after beating Dean White, only to return at the end of the year after 6 months to fight Derek Chisora. Alright, let's go for a quick break. When we return from the break, we've got some stories still talking boxing, as Frank Warren claims Usyk has told him who is next in line for the boxing fight. Stay with us. Is it Daniel Dugos? Anthony Joshua? We'll find out after this break. Stay with us. All right, welcome back from the break. Almost getting caught in action there. That's where you get on a live show, trying to get the message from my producer. And while we went on that quick break, we got Gabriel Batistuta running into the studio with his jersey number 9999 and ready to do the analysis. Gabriel Batistuta, Happy New Year. Thank you for making it to the studio. You're looking sharp. You're looking like 2025.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
All right, let's talk some boxing. The Frank Warren has said usage. I've told him who is likely to be the next target for usage. We've got Daniel Dubois has a carrot chance. We've got Anthony Joshua. We've got Zhang, the Chinese boxer. For you, who do you think will fit the bill best to take on usage? And also, do you think Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, was beaten to retirement, or just a ploy for him to see other people fight themselves, then come out when probably usage is beaten?
Well, you're as good as your last game. So I think I'll go with the first option. Perhaps he's been beaten to retirement. But if he has still boxing, he can still bounce back because we've seen a lot of comebacks in boxing. But I think the person that should face usage should be Dubois. Dubois looks at the guy who's ready, who has the steel right now, who is on fire. I think that Joshua should not try again. He should just take a break, see if he can win 1 or 2 fights before he goes back to usage, because he will go and get disgraced again. He's been in Nigeria for the weekend holiday and all that, so I'm glad he came home to fraternize with his kids and kid. But Dubois, for me, is a guy who is ready. I think Dubois has what it takes to confront usage. It's going to be a great match.
Okay, we've got there's also a matchup, a bout between Daniel Dubois and also Joe Parker. Do you see that? Do you see any shock for Daniel Dubois, or are you very confident he can beat any other person to get through? I remember we've got a Bakoli, Martin Bakoli from Congo, who also said he wanted to fight Anthony Joshua and Efe Ajagba. These are those in the heavyweight division.
Well, Dubois has a belt to his side.
Yes, IBF, so that makes him a contender.
So for him to defend his belt, he can probably maybe those guys who want to collect it, who want to take his belt over, who want to fight him like Parker and Bakoli. Well, Bakoli stands a chance, but I haven't watched his game. But then it's not about raw power, it's about technicalities and tactics in boxing. And one of the things that gives you edge in boxing is your throws. If you have height, you have long arm throws, and those throws help a lot in your points. If you get those hit points on your head. But then let's see how it goes. But perhaps Bakoli, Dubois has to defeat one more person before he goes to use it. Yes, because I think for your way to the WF champion, you solidify your position by defeating another contender, so you can now back to the
do you think there's anybody that can beat usage the way it stands now?
Of course, usage is beatable. Who is not beatable? Every boxer will fall one day. There's no boxer who says he didn't lose a match. You are as strong as you are, and besides, sometimes when we see it's difficult to stay up than to climb up. You can once you get there, the only way up is down. So, so it can be. And Charlie, most times now, once you're the top champion, you tend to relax. You tend not to give it the fight or the strength you took when you were going up. So it's not easy to stay at the top. So he will be beaten one day. It's just a matter of time. Because this guy's going to get the bout. And Anthony Joshua is going to come up soon. But Anthony Joshua, I don't think right now is in the good frame of mind, sports-wise, to be able to contend for any serious battle. He should take out time to prepare himself. Maybe his fight will be times in August or in September, not this end of this year. So usage is a matter of time. If the Almighty Tyson could be defeated, who is usage? It's just timing.
All right, let's talk about one of the biggest stories in Nigerian sports now. The new Super Eagles coach.
Yes.
Are you pleased with the appointment by the Nigerian Football Federation of Eric Chelle as the new coach?
I have listened to a lot of commentaries from a lot of analysts and pundits, but I was highly disappointed. I must say, I was really disappointed. Why did you bring an Eric Chelle? No, he won us in the friendly match against Mali. That's why you don't have to bring Eric Chelle. He doesn't know anything about our football. I would have preferred.
But he knows about the Malian football, and he's African. He went to the Nations Cup. He got to the quarterfinals.
But we went to the finals.
He got beaten by
South Africa.
the team that
That won us.
Yeah.
So it's Elechelli is
that time.
Elechelli is as good as our Abulike or Siasia.
Why do you think the NFF would want to gamble with a Malian rather than Emmanuel Amunike, who has played for Barcelona, top clubs in the world, has experienced top-class coaching, has coached Tanzania, took them after 50 years to the Cup of Nations, won World Cup with under 17, and would not take a chance on even something Siasia, who has done well on global stage, facing the likes of Argentina and co. Why would they?
Sometimes
is it a kickback syndrome?
You see, it beats my, in the words of Chris County, it beats my logical equipment to think that we have such potentials in the country and we go for a coach who has no international experience of any kind. Elechelli, what has he done for coaching in the world? I mean, he's just an African. He's good for Chad, as best as I can. But you see, for us to win the world, the nations, to qualify, because that's our main trust this year, to qualify for the Nations Cup, for the World Cup, we need a professional coach. Okay, you know, I heard through grapevine that he was a third choice. There were two other coaches before he was number 3. So I think the wages.
Renard rejected the offer, and the question is, why would Renard?
Maybe because maybe the fee. The fee was not commercial. What is collected in the Saudi Arabia is not child's play. So, and he has always dreamt of the Super Eagles.
What do you think probably is the kickback settlement that where there seems to be a rift?
Of course, that's one of the unsung, one of the things we have not said. That's where the problem of Nigeria football, the kickback settlement, because these coaches. Elechelli wants to build up the team, so he has to give a kickback because he has not had any big club Nigeria to coach before. Nigeria is a brand. Nigeria has a name in the world. Nigeria is the only country that we are playing international. In fact, Argentina is afraid of Nigeria. Spain is afraid of Nigeria because these guys can spring surprise for you. Any other country that Africa played, they are just on the side. You see, the kind of psychological strength that Nigeria has over the world, the football nation is high. So every coach will give an arm and a leg to coach Nigeria. I don't understand why we cannot get sponsors to be able to pay our coaches and all that. And this kickback syndrome, because I was told that Elechelli came third, but he accepted the offer. He bent over backwards to accept it because he said in his word, I could not resist the offer. I mean, it was very juicy for him. But you see, I'm so disappointed because you see, there's one thing about coaching. Patriotism is also a key. If you give an Abulike this kind of a job, he sees himself as a stakeholder. He sees himself as he has played this team before. He has to show there's something laid upon him to discharge. But give a Malian who is Swiss and if he wins, he goes. That's why I'm amazed at his choice. But it's too late to cry when the head is cut off.
All right, let's go for a very quick break. When we return from this break, we'll continue the conversation on the Super Eagles and the choice by the Nigerian Football Federation. Are we going to miss the World Cup 2026? Is a big gamble. Stay with us. Alright, welcome back from the break. You still talk sports, and I've got Gabriel Batistuta in the building as we look at X-ray the choice of Eric as the next coach of the Super Eagles. Can he get the job done? Why leave Emmanuel Amunike, Samson Siasia, and other great Nigerian coaches for untested hand as we seek to get to the World Cup 2026 is the big question. And we've got some very interesting talking points as regards what the president of the Nigerian Football Federation had said. And this is what he said. The president of the Nigerian Football Federation, Ibrahim Gusso, is optimistic that understanding African football mentality by the new Super Eagles coach, Elechelli, will help him deliver on the task of qualifying Nigeria for the 2026 World Cup. And understanding mentality, that's the only key reason. Are they saying Emmanuel Amunike, Samson Siasia, who are Africans who played in all various club sides, national team, African club sides before going to Europe do not understand the African mentality?
I mean,
is that enough reason?
it's beside the point. I mean, that's not a reason. That's not a cogent and verifiable reason to choose Cherry, because I mean, Abrike played in Asem Mimosas. For now, went to Zamalek.
He went to Zamalek.
For Zamalek, now went abroad.
I went to.
He has a coach. He has a FIFA license B, the same license he was a classmate of Guardiola. And you have him coaching in he humble himself, came to Heartland just to keep himself
He
going.
took Tanzania to the Nations Cup after almost 50 years.
Yes,
in the Nations Cup.
he has experience. So why don't and you have him in the country? So what is Chile going to offer? Where has Mali gone to? Where has Mali gone to? Look at the history of Mali. Where have they won? Have they won the Nations Cup in Africa before? So what am I talking about? So if Chile has played, what did he play up to?
And he's currently he was in Algeria coaching. Algeria has not been a top club side in African football, at least in the last 5 years.
That was spiral.
Okay, let's look at in terms of the Super Eagles players now. How is this going to affect the morale of the team? Do you think the players will be willing to play for Eric, or do you think they're going to look at him with some level of doubt as per his capability and his capacity to lead them to the World Cup?
Honestly, it's a mixed bag of emotions, because you need to have the players buy in to be able to allow for them to play for you. You know, so I don't know what tactics or what psychological strength he has, because we already know the team. He knows there's going to be a Osimhen, there's going to be a Lukman. He can hear from his sitting room. Because the players are popular, but you see, there's a mix. There's one or two players who you bring the mix that will bring the change. I don't know if he has, maybe this Chan tournament that he's going for perhaps will help him to get 1 or 2 out Nigerian players that can be able to beat it, because we need a very strong midfield. Charlie has been the midfield so far. Our midfield, we lack a lot of creativity, and we have a lot of box to box midfielder. Like it is not at his best anymore, you know. So I don't understand how the players may not respect him. That's the first one.
Yeah, because
they are richer than him. So they will not respect him.
And they play bigger teams.
So I don't. Maybe he has to humble himself. He has to stoop to conquer. The only way for him to lead that team is to humble himself and be able to pander to the whims and caprices. Because sometimes there's some people need to humble themselves to lead them. So, but that's the only tactic he has to do. But if you want to bring a bossy mentality, then we'll play rubbish and go to the club side. But I hope he succeeds, because we are playing South Africa, we are playing Rwanda, we are playing Namibia. These are clubs, we are condemned to win all these matches. So can he be the South African club team?
Do you think there's a possibility that he's going to chant? If he fails woefully in chant, there might be a rethink, because Nigerian football fans will call for his head.
Well, I'm happy there's a chant before the qualifier. So we will see how the weekend will be, you know, from Thursday. so let's see. This is our Thursday now in the chat tournament. So this is where he's condemned to perform. But my problem is he doesn't even know this locally. Locally he's about to, as if he has not resumed. They have not resumed yet. Can imagine players who are going to chant.
Getting ready for.
What are they waiting for? Getting ready to resume. The players have to be fit to go for a chat tournament. See how our calendars are very funny. See how we resume. We are going to fit. Players are going to be playing before they go to chat tournament. They are at home. When will they get on their mojo before the tournament starts? Well, that's probably for the NFF. Now, I want to see him be able to 3-4 players he can add to his Eagles. I want to see his lineup. I want to see his substitution. I want to see his tactical formation. I want to see what does he do in the second half, because we are going to be watching him to see what will he do if the game is not at his favor at his second half. What changes can he make? Because we have abundant talent.
His teams are always attacking, and he's going to make Super Eagles more attack minded. They're going to score more goals. How key would that be for the 6 matches that he's condemned to win?
Well, you know, attacking will make you win the tournament, but defense will make you win. Yes, attacking game will make you win matches, but defense will make you win the tournament. Most times you score freely, but if your back is porous, you will concede. So it's a defense. See, we went far in the tournament because our coach, what's his name, the guy from Pesero was playing a defensive kind of game. So no matter, our back was tight. So all we had to do was to score 1 goal. That's how we saw we come scoring 1 goal, 2 and 2 and so, because that is what ends you a tournament. Ability to close your back end and allow your players to score 1 goal and not block up. Because if you are a French curry side, the tendency is that your back will be leaking.
Right, let's look at this very key part. Every coach has his own coaching crew, and now he's saying he's coming with his own backroom staff. What does that mean to Nigerian coaches? How does it affect the psychic of Nigerian coaches? Knowing fully well that we're not going to have any Nigerian coach in the backroom staff of our national team. How big a blow is that?
No, that's it's not acceptable.
Has the NFF just goofed in that respect?
You see, the backroom staff are all speaking French. Our Nigerian players speak English. So how do you interact with them? We need a go-between to know to say, okay, this is what he's saying. Only a few players, perhaps the likes of Moses Samuel, can speak French. Maybe you see, I don't know if he learned French when he was in Lyon. So you need our coaches who would deputize for him, at least 2. I don't know what if I want to put them on. If you're going to be the coach 3, coach 4, but we need. He can come with his backroom staff, but we need our both coaches to be there, to be his eye, to be able to tell him this is what the players are feeling, to feel the pulse of the player, tell him, because you see, you are a Frenchman, you don't speak English. Even though he speaks, but he will not be that fluent. You need somebody who will tell you this. In fact, there was time Becky Vogt was our coach. Becky Vogt, remember? He had a Nigerian German. He couldn't speak English. He had a Nigerian guy who brought as his PA who was interpreting for him. That guy became so strong. What Nigerian guy, but we don't need all that. So what I'm saying is that the NFL should have 2 coaches as his part of his backroom staff who want to learn from him too. Because we have condemned ourselves to the whims and caprices of the Malians. They can try to sabotage us. What do we do?
Okay, on the final note, let's look at in terms of the goalkeeping. There's going to be a goalkeeping trainer coming alongside the backroom staff.
With him?
Yes. Do you think there's going to be a change of guard in terms of who becomes in between the sticks for the Super Eagles? How key is that place going to be?
Well, let the two goalkeepers prove themselves, because the stick is not tied to a name. So if what's his name, Wabali and Okoye, I'm sorry, shares between the 2 of them, but we can get one home base keeper to join them. You prove yourself, because you see, when there's competition, the best comes out. You don't have to leave it to Wabali alone. Wabali started making some faults, some mistakes, and Okoye, you can imagine the goals he considered with you. So let the one of the things that may help also that this goalkeeper trainer will be not aligned. He has no pressure for anybody.
So do you think that's going to also be an advantage for?
It could be one advantage for the coaching crew.
Knowing fully well that they don't have any relationship with any of
those players. Yes.
Pick the best man.
Be the best man. So that could be one plus. Shelley could come with.
Do you think that's why the NFF also went?
Well, that could be one, but you see, the odds are many. The pros are more than the disadvantage. So, but if he can come on the strength of that, that's okay, guys. I'm going to be dispassionate. I know you have a name, but I want to see who is fit on the training ground, who can deliver for me, because I just always know that senior should be there. No, but if in the training and somebody Simon is doing very well, play him, because I know he come with his own pattern, but you should understand that has a traditional pattern of play. We play free-flowing football. We use our wings very well, so that's the kind of game we play. So I don't know what kind of pattern he wants to introduce, but then I believe that we should give him a chance and see how his trainers will train our local boys and see how they will respond to him. But if we see the response from our local player, then we can trust him with the Super Eagles. I'm happy that they give him a chance to carry on.
Alright, so that's where we're going to call it in wrap on today's edition. I want to say a big thank you to Gabriel Batistuta. Always a pleasure having him in the studio doing analysis of the new Nigerian coach and what the odds are that await the Super Eagles as they gear up for their match qualifiers for the 2026 World Cup. And like he rightly pointed out, we will be watching Eric keenly to see how well he will do with the Super Eagles B team in the CHAN tournament. My name is Abdul Mohammed, and I'm saying thank you very much for joining us on Talk Sport this morning. We'll do this again tomorrow with all the big, exciting stories in the world of sport. Join us tomorrow. Good morning.